From 2001 to 2009, I deployed to Afghanistan twice. I went to Kandahar 0304 and then Bagram, Pastrana 0708. And then there's a period of my life that you just kind of get taken into and you kind of get lost in it. And you think like you have these superpowers that no matter what happens to you, you can continue and continue on until that, that volcano erupts, because it just comes. I've had, bouts of drinking before. I've had people tell me, I hate the person you are when you drink. I hate the things you say. I've had that said to me a couple times, and the first time that was said to me was in 2017. I tried to stop drinking, on my own. I never really thought it was an issue. You just get off of work, you load the ice chest, and then you just go sit in the garage for hours until you gotta take a shower and go to work the next day. In 2016, I lost my brother in a motorcycle accident. He was killed by a drunk driver. And for the past 8 years, I feel like that's been something that I never processed. And it was all just at the surface. That's part of where that anger came from, and that hurt, the loss. It's your only sibling, and the unfairness of it all, You sit here and you do all these things for your country and for other people, and you go thousands and thousands of miles away to fight a war, and my brother couldn't even make it like another mile to my parents' house. Just the hurt, like, you don't want to feel these things. Like, nobody wants to feel grief and loss and death. Like, that makes, it's terrible. And so you find these things, alcohol, marijuana, opioids, benzos, just to mask the reality of what's going on. The high wears off, you're right back where you're at again. You gotta find what works. Because for a long time, nothing worked. And I wasn't willing. That was the biggest thing. I wasn't willing to help myself. But you think it's okay because you still get through your day. Like, you still work. You still function. Somebody again told me that I wasn't a good person when I drank. You can't find that, like, piece of being okay, because guess what? You never did the work to be okay. You sat here and you thought, oh, David died. Okay, cool. I'll just move on with my life. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. You have feelings and just intensity feelings, and then there's nothing you can do about it. I went to work, and one thing that I can honestly say is that when I pull up to a house to see a hospice patient, everything else shuts off, and I'm right here and I'm focused, and it's just me and this family and this patient. As soon as I hit the driveway, I'm like, okay, put it on, we gotta go. Couldn't do that anymore. I drive to the driveway and I start crying, so I'd have to keep driving, get myself together, and then come back. I think that's when I finally clicked for myself. I call my best friend Val. I think it's like a Friday morning, and I was like, hey, are you ever just tired? And I was like, I feel tired. And I cried because I didn't know how I was gonna let my parents know that I wasn't okay. She comes to the house, and I get in the car, and she asks me what I want to do. And so reluctantly, I said, take me to the hospital. Then I got to Laurel Ridge, and those folks saved my life. This place, the people, the other patients. Just The intensity that this program brings is an intensity that you don't know you need. It's scary. And it's not like that at all. Super high functioning, super intelligent, amazing human beings that have had things happen to them and they never learned to cope. And Laurel Ridge gave us the ability to cope. Grief groups, for me, a lot of it was, my main thing, because when you come in, they're like, hey, let's triage your trauma. What's the most devastating to you? Let's get through that one and then we'll figure the rest out. You don't want to do those things at the beginning, but it's such a big win when you sit in that grief group in week 4 and 5. So the groups, the individualized therapy, Sarah had me tape my story about David from start to finish, and then we had to record the most devastating part for me. But in doing so, I am able to speak about my brother David. I can talk about David, and I can go to the cemetery, something that I never thought I would be able to do was write a goodbye letter to David. I was missing so much in life because I was so devastated about the past. Laurel Ridge was me moving forward. Sarah said something to me in one of those tapes, and here we are so many months later and I still hear it playing in my head. On the tape, she says, your brother died that night. And then there's a pause. And I stated, and I didn't. And she said, but you've been living like you did. And that statement, more than anything else, plays and plays and plays in my head. Daily still to this day. When I'm trying to make a decision of, hey, go take a walk or stay in the bed. Had I not gone through Laurel Ridge, I would not be sober today. Because had I not processed my trauma, I would still be trying to find ways to cope. When you complete this program, you start to feel things that you hadn't really felt before. And those are the good things. But that's something you also have to learn. It's like to accept the good things and to know that you're worth having those good things. You're worth. You are valued. I am valued. So, closing, Laurel Ridge saved my life. And that's the simplicity of it. And I'm thankful. It's just so simply thankful.